welcome back to my channel. It's Dr. Jenna Shivers, the lovely vet. Today is going to be our first kind of tutorial video or how-to video. And today we're going to feature Miss Mindy Moo for an ear cleaning. So just to get started, we're going to gather a few supplies before we get our pup ready. The two primary things you need are, number one, an ear cleaner. So you do want to have an ear cleaner that is a vet-specific ear cleaner that has a drying agent in it. The importance of that is, yes, we're pouring something wet into the ear canal, but we don't want something to sit and stay saturated in the ear canal because it can actually cause more problems than good. We want it to dry quickly once the ear is clean. The other thing we're going to get is something to wipe the majority of the cleaner out of the ear canal. I use little gauze squares, which you can get from the pharmacy or probably from the pet store, but you can use durable paper towel or a reusable face cloth that's clean and dry. The other kind of optional thing is if you need to remove hair from the ear canal, you can do plucking. So oftentimes you can use your fingers, but sometimes the hair necessitates using like some little pullers. So I use a pair of hemostats, which is kind of a medical tool, but oftentimes I get you to go to your groomer or your veterinarian to get their ears plucked because it can be tender for them. But I will show you at the very end of the video how to do that if you want to do it yourself. The final, most important thing is cookies or treats. So it's really important to make sure that your pet is happy during any kind of procedure you're doing to them. So ear cleaning, nail trimming, etc. We want to always keep them happy with lots of treats. Let's get into it. So Miss Mindy Moo is here for us to be our demo dog. She gets her ears cleaned quite frequently, so she's very used to it, although she still runs away when she sees the cleaner coming out. So I don't think any dog loves it, but you can certainly get your dog to not mind it. So Miss Mindy Moo's ears are the floppy ears. You can do this the same way with any type of ears. With hers, she does have lots of hair in her ear canals because she is a poodle cross. But if you flip it back and kind of smooth the hair out of the way, every dog's ear canal looks pretty similar. It is kind of that bumpy kind of cartilage around the outside, and then on the inside of the canal, there's a canal that runs downwards and then towards her nose. And that way we kind of know the anatomy. When we want to put cleaner or medication into the ear, we want to open our bottle and we want to squeeze the liquid into the ear canal. So you want to point the tip of the bottle towards the nose, in towards this way, and give it a little squeeze. And then what you want to do is you can either hold the flap open or close it down. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to keep it open so you can see what I'm doing here. The very base of the ear canal, where you feel that firm cartilage, you want to actually massage it. And you'll hear a squish, squish, squish. You got some liquid in there. And do a nice little massage for about 30 seconds or so. And then while still holding the ear flap, because if you let go, they're going to shake their head as quickly as they can. You can either let them shake their head if they have a lot of junk in there. Sometimes it will come out. If you're just doing a basic cleaning and you want to just get some wax out, get your gauze square. You're going to stick your finger in the same direction towards the nose. And you can stick your finger in as far as you like. It's not going to go any further. The canal does get quite narrow, so you wouldn't be able to fit your finger right down to their eardrum or anything like that, so you won't damage the ear. And then just give it a nice superficial wipe. Mindy's does have quite a bit of hair in her canal, so I will show you how to get rid of that. But you don't necessarily have to get rid of the hair. I always recommend getting rid of the hair if they do have ongoing or chronic ear infections. We'll do the same to the other ear. So again, lifting flap, squeezing a little bit of liquid towards the nose, and then the massage. So just a gentle squeeze. Little ear massage. Good girl, Mindy. Hey, oh, you're very, very good girl. Yes, you are. Here, you need a little cookie while we're doing that. I said, okay, I'll take that. A little massage. Oh, I knew we were going to get a shake in there. And then you take your gauze square. And again, wiping the surface and then going in, sticking your finger down towards the nose and just giving it a little rub out gently and wiping the superficial off. Her ears aren't too dirty. There's a little bit of wax in there. That's perfectly normal. With Mindy, she does not usually get chronic ear infections. So I usually just flush her ears, doing just once every kind of 2 to 4 weeks, kind of once a month or so in the winter time. She does like to swim in the summertime, and this is something we really have to think about in the summertime is if your dog's an avid swimmer and they're getting their head under the water. So some dogs just kind of paddle around and they don't really dunk their head under or get their ears wet. If your dog's getting their ears wet on a consistent basis, it's so important to flush the ears out after every single swim. So at the end of the day, when they're finished swimming, get the cleaner, flush the ears out, wipe out the canal. That will actually take the excess water out of the ear canals and make it a lot less likely that you will get an ear infection from all that swimming. Dogs with ear flaps that come down, dogs with a lot of hair in their ears, and dogs that like to swim are the 3 primary kind of factors of more likelihood of getting ear infections. So definitely, making sure that you're doing that. As far as if your dog does have an ear infection, it's very important also to clean the ears before you're putting the medication in each day. So doing the flush, exactly what we just did today, wiping the ear canals out. And then when you're ready to treat the ears, you're going to wait at least 10 minutes after you've done the cleaning. And then we're going to apply the ear medication into the ears. Most ear medications come in a little dropper bottle like this, and they have a long pointed bit so that it's easier to apply to the ears. So you would do the same thing. You would lift the ear flap and you would put that pointy bit pointing towards the nose, insert it into the ear canal, and then squeeze to do the appropriate number of drops for the size of your animal. I find is quite challenging for a lot of people because they can't see, because the tip is in the ear canal, and most patients aren't sitting super still and just allowing us to do this. So what I usually recommend for my patients is when they're at their veterinarian, ask for a little syringe. So this is just a syringe. It doesn't have a needle or anything on the end. It's just a flat tip syringe. So what I oftentimes will do in practice is mark off, depending on the size of the animal, how much to put in for each ear. And then you can actually draw it, open this lid and draw it out of the container and put that specific syringe. So I'll open it up. So say for a lot of dogs, we use about 0.2 mils, about that much medication. And that way, you know, when you open the flap, and you can point that tip towards the nose, insert it into the ear. I know, Mindy, you're okay. There's nothing in there. And then you can just depress the syringe, and then you know exactly how much you need is in there. And then again, you're going to do your nice gentle massage to make sure that liquid goes down into the ear canal because it is quite a long ear canal. You're going to do the same on the other side. Depending on the medication, some of them are once a day, some of them are twice a day. So it really depends on which medication you've gotten. And for animals who really hate their ears being touched, sometimes there are long-acting medications that are available that your veterinarian can actually insert into your dog's ears at the clinic. And then you don't have to do any treatments at home, but it really just depends on what type of infection is present for those ears. So Mindy's been a very good demonstrator for us today. So we're going to make sure she gets lots of rewards for that. And then, like I said, I was going to show you how to do a little bit of plucking. So realistically, with any dog with a lot of fluff in their ears like Mindy, we do have quite a bit of loose hair. Oftentimes you can just use your fingers with nothing else and just pull some of that hair out that's just inside the canal. And realistically, that hair should not have any nerve endings if you're pulling it right out of the canal. If you're pulling any other hair in and around the ear, that is tender for them, so please try to avoid that. But you can get your fingers all the way in there and pull some of that hair out. Or you can use something like hemostats, which is something I have here. With that, you need to be extra super careful not to pinch their skin inside their ear, or they really will never want you to do this again. But what I often do is clamp it in there, and then I just turn. And eventually I'll turn enough that the hair just kind of comes out on the hemostats. I don't use those to yank the hair out because it can be quite tender for them. And this I find is the most effective way to get the hair right down deep in the canals as well. So that was a good one too. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to remove the hair from the canals unless you feel like your dog is continuing to have more chronic, kind of ongoing, one after another ear infections. So with our case with Mindy, I occasionally will pluck the hair out of there just because it makes it easier for me to clean her ears, but it's not necessarily that we need to do that. If it's not causing a problem, don't touch it. And some dogs never get their ears cleaned even once in their life, and they're perfectly fine. So these tips are mostly for people who have dogs that swim in the summer, as well as, you know, you're treating the ears for an ear infection, so you need to know how to clean them first. So yes, thank you so much, Mindy Moo, for being such a great sport. She's just falling down on my leg here. So sit up and say goodbye to everybody. Here's another cookie. Thanks so much, guys, and feel free to tune in to the next how-to. Take care.